Alright, welcome back. This is Lance, and welcome to our Neo Scavenger Let's Play. So, we left off at the exact same point. We're just going to go ahead and pick up with scavenging, with grabbing our shoes, our bag, and getting prepared to do this. So, we're going to go ahead and check out this abandoned house. And we'll be able to use the lockpicks here. Now, not all houses you'll be able to use them, but you do get that benefit if the house is lockpickable. So, do want to also mention your sneak rating. If you're too loud, you can simply fail because you get scared about alerting the neighbors. So, word to the wise on that. Be careful with Snake. So, let's go ahead and check this out. Looks like we got another plastic bag that's in worse condition. A digital water tester. However, it has no batteries. So, unfortunate there. But, digital water tester worth some good money. Let's scavenge at the other abandoned house. And we did get some string, so let's go ahead and string up our binoculars. Throw those around our neck. So now we have the magnifying optic lens. It's going to allow us to see one hex further, which is a great benefit, especially for someone who has myopia. And scavenge again. Again, we are down in condition, so I do want to actually use this all up and then wait till next turn. We'll just start using this lighter to light our torches instead of having to waste torch to light each torch. We'll actually use the lighter, and that will benefit us during the daytime greatly. Looks like there's not a whole lot. We got a little bit of string, but not anything really too valuable. So I am a little bit, disappointed there. Got some really, really crappy condition trash bags, but overall, could have been worse. Could have been worse. I do want to grab this string, so we will grab the trash bag, because it is long string, and so that's lots of little string. And let's see, we got, a little bit more, so we're going to head up to this new abandoned house and trailers location that we found. One thing I do want to go ahead and showcase is the run ability. Now, using run will allow you to perform an action for half the move cost. So we move here for half of the normal move. We would normally cost 1, cost 0.5. So that can be quite useful. The way that you regain move is by ending your turn without using up all of your move points. Also want to take note, it looks like there's some tracks here. I'm not sure what kind of tracks those are, but there are tracks up here. So this area does look fairly active, whereas down here, we had a feral dog leader that we did, I believe, probably in this particular feral dog, although there may be another that we're not not aware of, so that is something to watch out for. But let's go ahead and head into this town. Let's throw our bags down, and we're keeping our shoes on this time. So end our turn. Looks like we got lots of dogs, exactly what I didn't want. So I'm glad that they're at 2 different distances from us. We're gonna go ahead and charge at them and just try to take them out. Now he's frail and vulnerable because looks like everybody charged. So they charged at me, I charged at them, but this one is still a good 7 away, and this one is within range. So we're going to go ahead and melee attack. We got a devastating blow that shredded its lower chest with a broad spear. It's got acute bleeding in the lungs. That dog is down, probably even dead. And this feral dog leader is now probably less eager to fight us. So let's try to threaten him to get him away. Looks like he's not taking it, so we're just going to go ahead and melee attack. Okay, we tore open the dog's lower right leg, so pretty good. We're going to lure him, try to get one range away, and get him down. He's now fallen, so he's easy prey, and he took quite a nasty fall. I mean, his lower arm was scratched, his armor was barely affected, his lower chest was slashed, his lower stomach was whipped, he's in severe pain, and just generally messed up. So let's try to end him, put him out of our misery. Just walk up casually, and alright, took out 2 dogs, 1 stick. And go ahead and start our scavenging run. Now again, we are going to, as I said before, light the torch before we start. Another option that we do have is using the sunlight and the binoculars to actually create a fire before we do that, but we don't want to waste it, since we can simply go ahead and do this. It does use up the lighter, but it's only like 0.1. Yeah. Or no, 1.0. But 1.0, so 1%, you got 100 more uses, or with this one, 70 something more uses. Not a big deal. We are now carrying a torch, so let's go ahead, start hitting up these abandoned homes. Got some more clothing. Got some better pants now. Blue jeans, nice. Khakis, bigger pocket, even better. Looks like our hoodie is much better than this 1.7 condition hoodie, so that is awesome. Now the box can't be used as a backpack, but it does have a much larger storage space. Also, if you find a scrap of paper with a recipe, you'll learn that recipe as soon as you pick up the scrap of paper, so it is important to take note of that. Let's just keep on scavenging. And another thing, we did start off with our shoes on, so we do want to end our turn with the shoes off. So just remember that, because we don't want to get those blisters from wearing improper footwear. Alright, found a couple of things. I do want to go ahead and break down this newspaper. Something fishy. Okay, so there's a lot of fish that have been killed. I don't care, because that means scraps of paper from me. Throw that in there, and now we have a multi-tool pocket knife. The multi-tool is extremely useful because, well, it can be used to equip what? Equips things to other things. No, it actually is used to equip metal parts and string to a gun to actually make a strap for that gun, or equipping a strap itself to a gun, and that is how you do that. So a multi-tool is very nice to carry around. It will degrade if you use it to cut things like the shard will, but it degrades much slower. It's like really slow. I don't know what rate. Also, I've calculated it degrades by about 50% or 50 cents per use, because it is quite a valuable item. So let's check out this last location. Okay, we got a droplet of water. We got a road map, so let's check that out. Looks like we're gonna locate Detroit on this bad boy. And just check out the map. So I'm gonna rip it up because We could try to keep it. It's worth $2. We can start stacking them and collecting them. But for right now, the paper scraps are going to be more lucrative because we can, using paper scraps, create more quality torches if we so choose. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to carry that. Plus, it will actually burn out this upcoming turn, even if we don't. So, we're just going to leave it there. We don't need anything else, and so let's just head out. Not sure if we want to go north, south, or which direction. We do need a lot more items. We do need to make sure that we take off our shoes and we don't get accustomed to accidentally leaving them on. So let's take those off and drop all of our items and end our turn there. Again, just grab everything and start looking for any sort of civilization that we can find. Alright, there's a small shack. We're going to keep our shoes on this time, but we are not going to keep the bags and stuff on us. Looks like that dog is exactly where we want to go. And so let's go check him out. Yeah, we know you're there. I'm gonna unfortunately just have to deal with you quickly, not mess around with, fighting you and potentially getting hurt by you, and then just scavenge. Now we don't have a torch out this time. We're just gonna use the lighter as is. Essentially, the reason I'm doing that is because, nah, I changed my mind. Let's go ahead and make the torch, because we can bust it down here in a second. So we're going to go ahead and light the torch, because no, it's only good for one, doesn't matter. We can use it anyways. Yep. We are going to, that's a debate. See, a lot of the tools that you'll debate, do I want to use this now? Or do I want to wait? Do I want to use it now? No, it's worth more money. Oh, yeah, I could sell that. So we just use it. And we get a nice little laptop. Let's check out if this bad boy has some charge. It has no charge in the battery. So that is quite unfortunate. Looks like we did get a small battery sparker. This is used to make fire. And you just put battery charge in it and it makes fire. So what we will, however, do is go ahead and make a small fire. And the reason we're going to do that is so that we can make ourselves some TNT. Because we have this metal saucepan, some bark, and our botany skill. Now, TNT is going to be an immune booster and everything, as I said earlier. We're also just going to boil this water so that we have some sterilized water. And we're going to drink the water now because we are thirsty. However, we're not going to drink the TNT at the moment. We're going to save that tea. The reason we're going to save that tea is because it is an immune booster, and at this particular moment we don't need our immune system to be boosted. However, we do need moisture, more thirst, because I don't believe that the TNT fills up your thirst gauge quite as much as just a normal drink of water does. So that's why we decided to do it that way. A lot of this we aren't going to need. We could cut this up and try to, make something out of it, but we just really don't need all of this. It's just too much. So we're going to head off into the world, see what else we can rustle up, take care of. So let's head off over here. Now we found a little squirrel. Throw our bags down. I don't recall, because I wasn't paying 100% attention, if we had our shoes on at the beginning of this turn. I believe we did, because moving there would have been 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do want to go ahead and take our shoes off and end our turn. Alright, let's use that. We're going to actually create something before we scavenge. We're going to create a little torch, and I'll explain why in a minute we're doing it here and not at the other location. But the next thing that we're going to make is using one of these strings. We're going to bust it up and grab a stick to not create a rough splint, but to create a squirrel snare using the trapping ability. And so when we scavenge, we'll use the forest to get botany, the squirrel snare, and the light source, max loot and safety instead of pretty low loot, okay safety and sneak, but definitely much better stats. And just check out what we can find. Looks like we found a lot of stuff. We found some nice edible berries, some poisonous berries, some more edible berries, some more edible berries, some poisonous mushrooms, some edible mushrooms, an extra squirrel, some more water. So now we have actually some nice amount of water, which we can, of course, boil. We're just going to do one with the tannin tea because each water bottle can hold 2 droplets of either tannin tea or a water, and can hold, I believe, 12 alcohol, because alcohol is measured in shots, whereas I believe these are measured in either maybe cups or pints. I'm not entirely sure because this water bottle looks pretty small, so I'm not sure how much water this is actually going to be. Of course, I could probably figure out the weight on that, but I'm not that interested. I'm not going to actually use it in that form. I'm going to break the torch down into a tiny lit campfire. No, into this, because this will actually stay and won't degrade in condition when being used to create things. So create that tannin tea, and then just boil the other 2 droplets of water. Because again, when using a torch in a crafting recipe, it will degrade in condition. A tiny lit campfire will not. We can also cut these suckers up and use our trapping ability so we do get the hide. And we can cook them. That will give us some more food. And just eat some of these berries. We can drink a little. We don't really have room for extra drinks, unfortunately, so it might be better to simply drink that before we leave, because I'd prefer to have the tannin tea on me than the other. So I'm going to get rid of that since we do have some tannin tea now, and play a little bit of what's the most important item that you want. Do we want string? I think we want string. And we want that definitely. Looks like that is the bunch of items that we want. We're going to leave the rest. I'm going to throw our shoes on. Drink up this water. And yeah, just drink it up. Everything else looks pretty good. That fire is just going to go out naturally. There's no point in taking just 2 hides. We're going to need more to make anything. So I'm debating whether we want to even head back towards the point of origin, towards the cryo facility, or just start heading out in the world. I think we might try to wrap around. That is a long, convoluted path, and we might not get there all the way to... Yeah, looks like we're going to add those berries. And... Oh, we hear something. So, looks like there's a, large something off in the distance. Some sort of cityscape. There's a large humming. Looks like there's some hustle and bustle. We're going to end our turn without our shoes, because again, I don't remember if we had them on last time. I keep forgetting, and I don't want to risk it, but I do want to keep the shoes on me until we do find a good pair. Double check everything. We're looking good. We're in pretty good shape. And end our turn. We got in a couple of fights, but our mom didn't get scared. Nobody's calling for anyone. And got another bottle. It's nice. We don't really have room for another bottle at the moment. We can fix that by throwing some berries in a bottle. And trying to reallocate some of this. I don't know if we're going to be able to reallocate anything else really at the moment. It does look like we are a little stuck. So we'll figure out what we can scavenge before we make any more life decisions. So we're going to start just using the light source, because it's going to be a waste of time for us to keep going into that menu, to keep making more torches, to keep using more torches. And so you always want to check to see if the clothing that you find is of better quality than what you have. These are not. We do, however, have now a tarp. The tarp is interesting because it can be used to make a makeshift bag. So that's what we do. We make ourselves a makeshift bag. Reason that's cool, we now have even more room. And are pretty dadgum set. Now, the box itself is not worth keeping. We have the makeshift bag, and so we can get rid of it. Looks like we got some nice room there. Room to play with. And scavenge a little more. Alright. Unfortunately, didn't find anything there that was super useful. But our choices are to go north or west. I think we're going to go around and then try to circle back down. I know I said I wanted to go off over here, but I think this is going to be our safer bet to circle around. I don't want to go to Zomzom's place. Zomzom's a place to eat. That just doesn't sound inviting. So we're going to avoid it if possible. However, we do have a random encounter. We found a disused correctional facility. What? Heavy metal cell doors, bars, and utilitarian furniture still bolted to the floor. Doesn't take long to see that you aren't alone. One full block of cells is occupied, guards lounging around, all wearing torn leathers. Gangers. Met them before. They're meat market dealers. Deal mostly in slaves, all kinds, breeders, workers, prostitutes. Some the eaten kind, always a big demand for those. Sometimes the eating kind? I don't know if that's, you're gonna eat that. Oh, that's just, whoever's in the cells needs your help. Creep closer and investigate. Risky, but maybe you can save somebody. Looks too well guarded, nothing you can do here, leave. A lot of plastic rubbish around. Maybe you can snag that lighter and start a fire. Toxic fumes may take care of the lot. Deal directly. Maybe you could swing a good deal on a slave. Resell them for a profit. Okay. I am not a slaver. I don't believe in slavery. So, that option is out. I think that this has too much of a risk. Like, it doesn't even sound like I'm trying to save anyone. It legit sounds like I'm trying to kill everyone and steal their loot. It's probably what's going to happen, or I'm going to end up getting toxified myself. Not an option. Look too well guarded, abandon them? Not an option. Like, I'm sorry, but no, I gotta risk it. Like, I'm probably gonna get really hurt from this. Yeah, if I die, well, it was a nice playthrough. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I've never had this encounter. So, let's see what happens. Alright, you managed to crawl to an old vent roof, giving you a good view of the entire block. You realize there's no way you're going to be able to reach the cells. Slavers appear casual and unconcerned over possible security breaches, but you can see that it's just a facade, an elaborate trap to fill up the cells. You become concerned that the vent may be too, or might be booby-trapped or alarmed. Cautiously wriggle your way back out, but not before happening on a box taped to the roof. Must have missed it on the way in. Hey, it looks like there was stuff, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the stuff, right? Right? Ah, the stuff. Okay. That was the turn. Let's throw our stuff down and prepare for combat. And we kept our shoes on this time because we had taken them off. We can go ahead and take them off prematurely. Let's just figure out what we're gonna do here before we decide I don't want shoes anymore. We are actually going to light a torch because there's 4 locations here, and that will save on the lighter's condition by using the torch at this particular moment. So grab that. All right, we got a shirt, a little bit of water. It's nice. We don't really need that stuff up there. Check out the next location. All right, it was locked. I love to have those lockpicks. Nothing. Wow, we found ourselves opening a lock to nothing. Come on. All right, we got some bottles. That's not the end of the world. I mean, it is, but you know, no pun intended. Actually, like no pun intended. Really happy that there was pun there, but was not intended. Okay, looks like nothing. So got a couple of bottles, and the short end of the stick is what it seems like. Gonna go ahead and break these down, since that takes like nothing. Grab our scraps of paper, grab a bottle, fill it up, and head to the next location. I am actually going to go ahead and craft a new set of lockpicks while we have the opportunity to make them that are 100% condition. Just leave these here and head out. Alright. I believe we started with the shoes on, so we'll take them off this time. We're going to eat a berry or 2 and end our turn. Looks like there's a lot of ruins, so we'll see if we want to risk it. We probably will, but let's go ahead and make another torch lit. May have done that a little prematurely. No, that's fine. 2 is worth it. So, got some more newsprint. Let's unlock this office. Okay, another tarp. We don't need any more newspaper, and we don't really have room for a whole lot else. But we can do a little bit of moving items around to try to finagle a little bit more space out of what we do have. Okay, we got that in. And let's scavenge. Okay, we did not start with our shoes on. So let's go to the next location. We're now tired. This dude's got a gun. Chances are it's not loaded. Chances are it might be. So, not sure. But I'm going to grab this metal pan. I'm going to leave that on the ground. Eat a berry. And get prepared to fight this fool. Alright, he took off. Thankfully. I did not want to have to fight him. Because you never know if somebody's going to have ammo. Or if it's just a nice bluff. We're just going to use the lighter as is for this location, since we only have 1 torch left. And I'm thankful that we're not actually getting hurt by all this, because it is a fairly decent chance for some of those locations to actually get hurt. But we're staying safe, so that's the important thing. Yeah, we can actually... I don't know if we can put mushrooms in a bottle. Nope, cannot put mushrooms in a bottle. However, we can put more berries in a bottle. And water in a bottle. And we'll find more twigs here, elsewhere. Empty out the berries. Because they are not of the same condition, and the berries will actually disappear once they reach the minimum condition, once they hit 0 condition. So we want to eat the lowest quality berries first. So do like to organize them. It is a little time consuming, but it's worth it. Alright. Looks like that's everything we're going to need. I think we're going to call it there. And get prepared to, as soon as we check out this location, go on down and get out of this Zomzoms area, because it just is not the most inviting area. There's too much activity going on. So check this out. Alright, we got a weapon. Don't want a monkey wrench. But we did get a very nice shoe. We are now wearing a decent pair of shoes. Grab that t-shirt. Figure out which condition t-shirts we want to keep. Grab our second binocular. And looks like everything else is pretty good. We don't have to worry about changing shoes now, just this one deteriorating on us. We'll drop our gear. grab the pan just in case we need a spare close combat weapon, and end our turn. Okay, it looks like this Joker came up and he picked up the shoe. I'm gonna try to talk to him. We're gonna end on this note as soon as we encounter this guy. Looks like no, he's not playing nice. He's got a punch for a weapon, so we're gonna go ahead and get him. I tried to talk to him, but he was not having it. So we went ahead and we stabbed him in the left arm. We're gonna lure him into a trap, and he runs from us. This bad mutta thinks that he's bad enough to mess with us, decides, you know what? No, not worth it. I'm not going to lose my bow, but he is. He is very much so going to lose his bow because we are taking you out. We already took you down. You're coughing up blood. You're in severe pain. Just embrace death because the sweet embrace of death is coming for you. All right. We got this bow. It does not have a strap. So let's fix that. Where's our string? Bow with a strap. We now have a bow with a strap. We just need some arrows and we will be golden. We're going to destroy him, not cut him up because that's creepy. You don't cut up people to eat them. Looks like he had some death cap on him because he doesn't know the difference. And isn't smart enough to not eat death cap. Looks like we can't actually have a third one on our neck. It doesn't even have a strap, but it is worth quite a bit of money. It's worth about, what, $4 a square, almost $5 a square, because it does take up 5 squares in a row, so each of those is important to note. But again, on that note, we're going to go ahead and just end our turn, end the game, and stop recording there. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.